Coming up on this segment of MTV News, we'll talk about keeping your password safe, saving the orcas, and exploring the Sacramento Zoo. All this and more only on MTV News. Video games are always fun to play, and getting bonus rewards is awesome. At least people think that. Buying in-game currency can actually have negative effects. Let's see how.
I was playing a video game. A pop-up appeared telling me to type in my transaction password to earn currency. I did this action several times, not knowing it was actually charging my parents' credit card. This type of game scamming happens frequently, taking advantage of kids' lack of knowledge about how marketing works. Parents, establish rules with your kids on what games to play and to never share your password.
Our next feature explores the killer whale. The proper term is actually orcas, and their population is decreasing drastically. Let's learn more.
Orcas are often described as majestic, bold, brave, courageous, fierce, social, smart, and kind. They are respected for their grace, beauty, and importance. Orcas are called killer whales because they kill whales. Fishermen would witness orcas killing whales and call them whale killers. The term was later flipped to killer whales. But which term should be used? Orca or killer whale? Many people think orca should be used because killer whale sounds too evil.
Orcas have one of the largest brains of all animals, making them very intelligent. Their cleverness also makes it easier to get food. They eat a variety of animals, small and big.
A lot of the different populations eat different things. Some of them concentrate on seals. Some of them eat, like around here, they may go after otters, they go after squid, they go after like elephant seals. They've even seen them go after sharks in some video recently.
Orcas also can eat salmon, seagulls, shrimp, lobsters, and many more. The orcas trap seagulls by spitting fish onto the surface of the water as something to lure the birds. Smart!
Unfortunately, they are dying out because there is less and less prey due to climate change.
When the temperature changes in areas, it changes the amount of fish that are in an area or what fish are there. Some fish have to move more north because they have to stay within a specific temperature range. And temperature ranges in the ocean also cause what you can also almost think of as doorways, where the change in the temperature can change the amount of oxygen that's in the water. So fish have to move, and suddenly fish who usually swim from one part of the ocean to the other can't do that because the temperature change has made sort of a block in the way of getting there. So it really affects what prey they might have around them. So they can end up being hungry.
Even though scientists still don't know enough about these amazing creatures, they've counted them as an animal in need of protection. But we do know that another reason the number of orcas is decreasing is because of pollution caused by humans.
They're what's called an apex predator. They're at the top of the food chain. And so that means that when there is pollution or chemicals that are in the chain, it starts at the bottom up through the food web. And every time you go up in the food web, the amount of pollution multiplies. So the amount of chemical that was in a fish that's eaten by a seal, now the seal has its own pollution plus what it ate from the fish. So when it goes up to the orca, not only are they getting pollution, but everything they ate and what it ate before is getting into their bodies. There's a case of a whale that was stranded and she died, and they found that they look at how many parts per million of PCBs or persistent, chemicals are in her blubber. Now, normally there's between, say, 37 parts per million, but in hers she had over 1,000.
Still, every person, including you, can help protect orcas.
For example, stop using plastic. Instead, always bring a reusable grocery bag. Use a reliable source to make sure your fish is sustainable.
Orcas really are a natural wonder. They are intelligent animals in need of protection.
We just have to work one by one to try and figure out what sources there are that we can stop.
While human pollution is causing negative effects on orcas, our next segment explores ways that we can get closer to animals and support their habitat.
The first real zoo was established in 1500 BC by Queen Hatshepsut of Egypt, and she collected exotic animals from all over Africa. Later on, the Emperor of China, Wen Wang, built a zoo to demonstrate his wealth and power. The zoo took up over 1,500 acres of land and had animals from all over his empire. It was later named the Garden of Intelligence. Most of the zoos you will go to today are much different, but still have many things in common. Modern-day zoos are used to entertain and educate the public, as well as for research and conservation. The Sacramento Zoo has recently announced that they might be relocating to Elk Grove due to lack of space for the animals.
Only 14 acres, so we don't have a lot of land, and over the past 30 years, we've had to send away many animals because we simply don't have the space. The animals that some people expect to see when they go to a zoo, animals like bears or big cats or great apes or giraffes, they need space. So we've been looking for 20 years for a larger zoo, and if this project opens in Elk Grove, that would be great for the animals, but also great for the community, because we would have a zoo the size of which this community deserves. If we are able to move to Elk Grove, one of the animals we would like to work with at the new zoo potentially could be rhinoceros. We've never housed rhinoceros at the Sacramento Zoo. Part of the modern role of a zoo is to house populations of rare and endangered species. In South Africa, one of the largest national parks, there's been over a 70% population decrease in rhinos in the last 20 years due to poaching. They're an animal that needs the help of zoos.
The Sacramento Zoo also added a new exhibit for a limited time: dinosaurs. The new exhibits house 20 life-size animatronic dinosaurs from the Mesozoic era, also known as the Age of Reptiles.
The best way community members can support the zoo right now is by going to visit the zoo, because we are a nonprofit organization, which means every time someone pays an admission fee to come into the zoo, they're helping to support the zoo. So they can visit the zoo, they become a member. If they want to see a new zoo in Elk Grove, they can write the mayor and council of the city of Elk Grove and let them know that they support seeing a new zoo.
Well, that concludes this episode of MTV News. Thanks for watching. Bye!